What's up, guys? We are talking about podcasting, and we are excited because everybody that's interested in entrepreneurship should be documenting their journey through a podcast, because there's no better way to start getting yourself out there than just recording what you do and talking about what you do and explaining and sharing what you learned. So we believe podcasts are huge because that is the way the world is going. You know, podcasts, voice, social media, that's just a big part of entrepreneurial success at this moment. So let's hop in. How do you start a podcast? Well, we believe you need a couple of things before you get started. So really, all you need to start a podcast, and really you don't even need this if you don't want. I mean, you could do a podcast from your phone or the computer and throw some headphones in. I mean, the audio is not going to be perfect, but it's something. So if you do, here we go. If you do want to have decent audio, here's what we recommend. As you guys all know, educating entrepreneurs is also at the start of their company's life, just like yours. So we are trying to find the cheapest options out there. We're trying to find the best options out there to ultimately scale the company in a very lean fashion. So when you're starting a podcast, you need a mic. That is going to make the sound a whole lot better. So I just think we have multiple podcasts. So we believe, and I think that you should be using a Blue Yeti microphone. Now, you can find a Blue Yeti microphone. I already have it pulled up right here on Amazon. You can buy it for $150 if you're not an Amazon Prime member, or you can become an Amazon Prime member, spend $129. I am not making an advertisement for which thing you should do or not do, but I'm just encouraging you to get the Blue Yeti mic, because you have the ability to change the colors. You have the ability to really do what you want with it. When you do buy your Blue Yeti mic, they are going to try to have you add a couple of things. They're going to say you can essentially add this, it's a pop filter. So you put it on your mic and it makes it so when you're spinning and whatever else, it doesn't get all over the mic. They're also going to have you possibly get a pair of headphones with it. I did get the headphones, which was a mistake because my headphones work perfectly fine. So it was a waste of money. So I wouldn't say you technically need any of these things. If you want them to look cool, go for it. If you don't, just get the mic. And I think it'd be important now, and you guys can pause the video while you're waiting for your mic to show up. I want to show you what this mic is actually like. I'm going to blow myself up here so you can kind of watch it in the middle of the screen. This here is my Blue Yeti mic right here. So I got this a couple months ago, and we use it for our Master the Start podcast and sometimes for our Pocket Thoughts podcast. And I'm just going to open this baby up so we can take a look at how it works. So when you guys get your Blue Yeti mic, you know it's going to come in this box, and there's a lot of great stuff here. And I'm just opening it up. Let me change the screen so you can see the mic a little more. This is the Blue Yeti mic. You can see this beautiful thing. Pretty cheap, but looks professional still. This mic, a couple of things here. Now, if you guys go to your Yeti mic, you're going to find that there's a couple of settings on the back. And I know you can't really see my full face because, frankly, we are just starting to learn how to use Zoom, Loom, whatever the video thing is. And we just think it's really important to give you a quick tutorial without making it professional, because that's what we're trying to do. In the back of the mic here, you're going to find the gain, and you're going to find the pattern. There we go. I didn't know what word they used. The gain is pretty much how sensitive the sound is. So if the gain's really high, you're going to hear pretty much everything within 100 feet of you. You're going to hear the door close way down down the road. You're going to hear every footstep. You're going to hear all of the breathing. So I pretty much set my gain to kind of like, I don't know, 30% or so, because that's kind of the volume in which, or the gain picks up my voice well, but it doesn't pick up every movement within a space. The second thing is a pattern. So you can set it in multiple ways. You can have a pattern set up. You're going to see here, I'm trying to click it. In this far corner, you have a stereo pattern. So with the stereo pattern, that is really where you have no sound coming in around you, and you kind of have, it's kind of focused on the vocals. So stereo, I don't really use stereo much in the podcast because I just don't need it, and I don't need to have the ability to move back and forth. I forgot to mention, with the stereo, when you move around the mic like this, the sound changes. So you might hear it coming out of one headphone and then the other headphone when you're moving around. So that's something with the stereo version. And I'm not using the mic right now because it doesn't adjust to Loom. The second option here is cardio. So it's not cardio. It sounded dumb. It's cardioed, I think. So you guys will see it on your package, but essentially that's just straight on talking. So if I'm just talking to you in the mic, that is the setting I want. I don't want to hear anything around it. I just want to hear my voice. The third option here is this beautiful circle, and that is omnidirectional. So that is actually going to get the sound all around us. So it's going to pick up people talking over here, behind the mic, to the side of the mic, all of that good stuff. And the last one here, let me set it up. Click, come on, click. Is biodirectional. So if I'm doing an interview with someone, I want it to be biodirectional because I want it to pick up my voice on this front side of the mic, and I want it to pick up the voice of the person on the back side of the mic. So those are the settings for patterns. And it's going to be a lot more in-depth when you get your actual mic. You're going to find this box is very educational that it comes in. It's going to tell you how all of it works here. So that's great. If we turn it around, here we go. This is a volume. This volume is what you're going to use to listen to it in your headphones. I sometimes have headphones in, sometimes I don't. And this button here is going to be the mute button. So let's just hop in quick and figure out how it actually works with your microphone. Mine is all tangled right now, but with your mic, you're going to get a USB connection. So with this cord that you get, you're going to actually look at the bottom, and you're going to see that you have a little plug-in for this cord, and you're going to plug it into the bottom of the mic. This other plug-in here, this is for your headphones, so you can listen to the sound. Once that's plugged in, I'm going to turn this around. You are going to take your USB end of your cord, and you are going to plug it into your computer. So I'm plugging it into my computer, and as you can tell, when I plugged it in, this light turned on, and now it's muted. Now it's not. So I'm going to make myself a little smaller quick because we are going to go back to sharing the screen. With this mic, this is huge. With this mic, you are actually going to be using a program called Audacity. So with Audacity, you will be hooking your mic up. And, you know, Audacity, I believe, is a free download. So you guys can just find it and download it on your Mac. Audacity is pretty much the best for sound, and it works really well with the Blue Yeti mic. So this is a mistake I made out of the gate. Now, as you guys can tell, I have Audacity up right now. The thing that's really important, when you start using your Blue Yeti mic, you have to change these settings right here in Audacity. You can see the microphone here. You want the microphone to be the aggregate device. And you're going to want the built-in to also be the aggregate device. So with that, let me see here. With that, you're now going to start getting the proper recording. So when I push record here, and it's not recording because I actually need to quickly, and this is the mistake that I made in the past, the mic sometimes doesn't show up properly. So I'm actually happy I did this for you guys because the aggregate didn't show right. And, there's something with Audacity where if you plug in your mic after Audacity's pulled up, Audacity doesn't actually read the mic. So I'm going to actually quit Audacity. I'm not going to save the changes. And I am going to pull it up a second time here. And I'm happy I did this because I used to make this mistake all the time. And really nobody showed me that it was a big mistake. So I was recording audio the wrong way for a long time. So you guys see now that you reopened Audacity after your mic was plugged in, it actually gives you the Yeti stereo microphone, which you need to have. So when you guys are looking, make sure that you did it right. So it shows the Yeti stereo microphone. You're going to see other tutorials out there that say, hey, you don't need that. You just need the aggregate device. Those tutorials are wrong. I repeat, they are wrong. You're going to find that you make some poor audio. So once you pull up Audacity, and like I just said and made clear because it was my own mistake in that moment because I already forgot, make sure your mic, your Blue Yeti mic is plugged in before you pull up Audacity. And then it will give you these options next to this microphone to click the Yeti stereo and next to the sound to click the Yeti stereo. When I'm recording, I actually have the Yeti and the actual mic levels, the recording volume at about 80%. And then the volume, it really doesn't matter because that's kind of what you're listening to. Then on Audacity, you just push record. And as you can see right now, it is not recording because when the mute light is flashing, it is actually muted. So once you push that and you get this solid light on the mute button, it is now recording. And as you can see, it's picking up a lot of sound here. My voice is really coming in. And you actually want to make sure you do it in a way and keep your voice in a way, in a tone that it never hits this level here. You see, I'm going to push stop. When you're looking at your sound, you don't want to have a spike that goes up into the red. Essentially, this is the red. And you can kind of watch it up here in this corner too. So you want to make sure you can still be excited. Like I'm usually pretty excited. But what you want to do is make sure either your microphone recording volume is down or you keep your voice down. You don't have any high levels of excitement where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Or else that's going to be a really high sound that is really loud in people's ears. So you now have your Blue Yeti mic. You have it plugged in. You can now record properly. All you need to do at this point is really export it. Because at this point, you have made your recording, at least I'm hoping you have, and you now have to export it in a way that you can upload it to something we like to call Podbean. And you're going to find a video also on Podbean. But essentially, once you have your audio, you're going to go in here and you're going to export your audio. Now, this is important because when you're doing audio, you're going to need it in a WAV version. So as you can tell, I can save it in a bunch of formats. WAV is the format I want to save it in. And I'm going to say test audio. And you're going to push OK. It's going to be exported to whatever the file was that you wanted it to be dropped in. And at this point, you essentially have your audio for a podcast. And if you look in our queue, you are going to find a wonderful video on Podbean. So check it out. This is the Blue Yeti mic. We love it. We highly encourage everyone to use it. If you're interested in podcasts, Blue Yeti USB microphone. This is not a plug. We get nothing from this. We just believe it is the best option out there if you're interested in starting podcasts. Good luck, everyone. We will see you in the Podbean episode. You'll find it videopodbean.com. All right. Have a good one, guys.